Hello, and welcome. If you're watching this, chances are you're dealing with the stress of an IRS dispute. You've gone through the audit, you've made your case to the IRS Office of Appeals, and now a document has appeared that looks like a light at the end of the tunnel. Form 870AD. It feels like an end to the fight, a chance to put this all behind you. But before you sign on that dotted line, it is absolutely critical that you understand what this form is, and more importantly, what it isn't. So, what exactly is Form 870AD? The full name is Offer to Waive Restrictions on Assessment and Collection of Tax Deficiency and to Accept Overassessment. In simple terms, it's a settlement agreement offered by the IRS Appeals Division. The AD stands for Appeals Division because this is a special form you'll only see at this stage of the game. You typically see this form when you and Appeals have reached a compromise based on mutual concessions. You agree to a certain tax amount, and they might agree to waive penalties or concede on other issues. Now you might be thinking, I've heard of Form 870. Is this the same thing? That's a great question, and the answer is no. They are very different. The standard Form 870 is a simple waiver. Form 870AD, on the other hand, is meant to provide more finality. It includes a pledge from the IRS that they won't reopen your case for the tax years covered, unless there's something like fraud or a major misrepresentation of facts. The standard Form 870 has no such promise. Another key difference is when they take effect. A Form 870 is effective as soon as the IRS receives it, but a Form 870AD only becomes effective when it's officially accepted and signed on behalf of the IRS Commissioner. This is an important distinction, because it affects when the clock stops on interest accumulation. This brings us to the biggest question and the most common misconception. Is Form 870AD a final binding contract? The answer, which surprises many people, is no. It is not a legally binding closing agreement under the tax code. For a settlement to be truly statutorily final, it has to be done through a formal closing agreement under Internal Revenue Code Section 7121. Form 870AD doesn't meet that standard. There was a major tax court case, Howe versus Commissioner, that highlighted this. A taxpayer signed an 870AD, thinking the case was closed. But the IRS later reopened the audit and came back with an even bigger tax bill. The court sided with the IRS, confirming that the 870AD was not a legally binding contract that prevented them from reopening the case. Now, does this mean the IRS will always reopen your case? Absolutely not. In practice, it is very rare for the IRS to go back on an 870AD agreement. They generally honor it. But you need to know that the legal door is not completely shut for them. So, what are the pros and cons of signing? The biggest advantage is practical finality. You can move on with your life. It also stops the interest from piling up, which can be a huge financial relief. And of course, you avoid the cost, stress, and uncertainty of taking your case to tax court. But there are significant downsides. When you sign, you are waiving your right to go to tax court for the issues covered in the agreement. You are also agreeing that you will not file a claim for a refund on those same issues later on. And as we've discussed, there's that small but real risk that the IRS could reopen the case. It's also worth noting that these forms can sometimes be modified. If you've only settled some of the issues in your case, the form can be changed to reflect a partial agreement. You can even add a reservation to preserve your right to file a refund claim on a specific unsettled issue. So, if you need 100% absolute ironclad finality, what's the solution? That would be a formal closing agreement. It's a much more involved process, but it's the only way to get a settlement that is truly binding on both you and the IRS by law. In conclusion, Form 870AD is a serious and important settlement document. It's a powerful tool that can bring your tax dispute to a close. But it's not the final unbreakable contract that many believe it to be. You are giving up significant rights when you sign it. Before you ever sign a Form 870AD, you should have a crystal clear understanding of the terms, the rights you're waiving, and the level of finality you're actually getting. I hope this has helped you better understand this complex IRS form. For more helpful tips and in-depth explanations of complex tax topics, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. To learn more ways to fix IRS issues, download the QR code to watch the free video, The Ultimate Guide to Solving Your IRS Tax Problems. Or head over to the website, hugherichtax.com, to watch the free video and access more valuable resources. Thanks for watching.